This week, in the midst of the Omer, we will read Parshat Kedoshim, which, as its name suggests, discusses a life of Kedusha, a life of holiness. The Parsha begins with a charge to Kol Adat B'nai Yisrael, each and every one of the members of the Jewish nation. Hashem calls upon each and every one of us to live a life of Kedusha, Kedoshim to you. Be holy, for I, Hashem, your God, am holy. This calling seems to be as fascinating as it is complex. We understand that Hashem is Kadosh, but how are we to be Kadosh? What does this mitzvah entail? Understanding Kedoshim to you might actually require understanding why it is read specifically during this time period of the Omer. The Omer period is the period where we count daily Sfirat HaOmer from Pesach, the holiday celebrating our freedom from Egyptian bondage, to Shavuot, the holiday celebrating our receiving of the Torah. It is a time of great anticipation for the greatness of the Torah and its ability to affect our life and give us the true tools for controlling our destiny. Kedoshim to you tells us that a life of Torah learning, a life of Torah commitment, is a life of Kedusha, a life of holiness. Yet this Omer period also marks a number of days of distinction. Some of them, though, sad, and some of them happy. It seems like during this short amount of time of only 49 days, all the time we're celebrating a different type of day. Sometimes Yom HaShoah or Yom HaZikaron, Holocaust Remembrance Day, or the Memorial Day for Israel's fallen soldiers, days of tremendous sadness. While at the same time, there are days of joy, Yom HaAtzmaut, celebrating Israel's independence, Yom Yerushalayim, our return to Jerusalem in 1967, Pesach Sheni Lag BaOmer. But what is it? Is this time period a period of happiness or a period of sadness? Even last year, Lag BaOmer reminded us how sometimes times of happiness and tragedy come one and the same. But what's it all about? Maybe understanding Kedoshim to you will help us. What does it mean to be holy? If you look at the list of mitzvot that follow Kedoshim to you, they would seem to be the Torah's recipe for holiness. Well, if I would ask on the street, what is holiness all about? The answer might be, well, holiness requires abstaining from the benefits of the physical world. Or even in Jewish circles, one might expect an answer. Holiness is related to the mikdash, to the temple. On the other hand, if you look at the list of mitzvot of Kedoshim to you, you find the opposite. Kedoshim to you entails where one does not remove oneself from the world, but is involved in the physical world, eating through holiness, through spirituality. It is connected to the mikdash, but the largest concentration of all of the mitzvot in this recipe of Kedoshim to you are the mitzvot associated with interpersonal relationships. A Torah life, a life of Kedusha, is a well-rounded life. It's where someone's Torah commitment is seen in the way they elevate their relationships with others. And if so, it might not be surprising that specifically during this period of the Omer, when we highlight what the Torah is all about, mistreatment of others can be treated with such difficulty. The Talmud tells us that the reason why we have aspects of mourning during this time period that's supposed to be one of happiness is because the great students of Rabbi Akiva, lo nahagu kavod ze lezeh, despite their greatness in Torah learning, they did not treat each other with the utmost respect. For that reason, I'm not fully shaven, and other aspects of mourning occur during this time period. And maybe part of the lesson behind this is that this period can be the greatest, but only if we focus on the Torah as something with its well-rounded calling. To be able to rise in our connection with God while at the same time having it affect and influence our relationship with others. If so, we'll hopefully merit to those great times that specifically occurred during this time period. God forbid not to have any more of the difficult tragedies and tragic times that are also marked by this period. This call of Kedoshim to you is for each and every one of us, and it's attainable for all of us who grab hold to the Torah and simultaneously do it in a way that really makes us Kedoshim, a life of holiness. Have a wonderful Shabbat.